Hey, it's me, C, and welcome back to my channel. Now, the video I had planned for this week, I really didn't have time to film. So we're going to switch it up a little different, and that's okay. I actually need to one curl my hair, so I'll be doing that and recapping this year's BET Hip Hop Awards. Did you watch? But I literally hate doing my hair, so this is not a tutorial or anything like that. We just gonna be chatting. Okay, so where do I want to start with this whole recap? I honestly feel like this year was like one of the best BET Hip Hop Awards. Literally, it was really entertaining. Very entertaining. The show was hosted by Lil Duval. If you don't know who he is a comedian, internet troll, music artist. He just does it all, but it was hosted by him. And I think he did a really good job, which is why I think the show was so good, because in like previous years, if the host isn't that good or entertaining or come to like the table with some like new fresh ideas, it's gonna be like, all right, well, I can just look up and see who wins what category later on, you know? Shit, I just burnt myself. Oh no, I didn't know good. And no shade to BET, but like every award show, there's always some like technical difficulties, and it'd be crazy. I'd be like, wait, what? Like, how did y'all do that? Like, I don't get it. But this year, like, the flow of the show was actually really good. Like, the glitches were at a minimum. Like, I literally think I only saw like two things, I would say. Like, one thing was when SAWEETIE was performing, her mic was mad low. Like, it sounded like her voice was under the track instead of on top of the track. Like, and I thought it was just my ears, and it wasn't. Like, when the people who performed with her, it was like Petey Pablo and Little John. When they came on the stage, they had like the you know, the handheld mic, and she had the mic that like goes like right to your mouth. So you would think that mic would like pick up your voice OD, but like no, it didn't. Like, I don't know. The sound for her mic just was not good at all. So they definitely could have turned her mic up, because this just was doing good, but we'll get into that later. You guys already know there's always issues with people reading that damn teleprompter. I don't know if it's too far or what the case may be, but the only thing that I did see was when Tiana Taylor went up there to present some award. Sis broke out the bifocals. Like, she literally broke out her bifocals so she could see and not mess with the teleprompter, and that was good. That was good, because a lot of times people make a joke like, y'all know I can't see that shit, or whatever the case may be. But you know, and I don't know if that's like the thing with live TV, like they need to bring the teleprompter closer so the presenters can actually see, or it's like if the presenter are just like blind, not blind, but like, you know, some people can't read at certain distances. Or y'all remember back in the day, like those people in school who like didn't like reading in front of the class, and like when they did read in front of the class, it was like mad embarrassing because they just like was reading like they didn't know how to read. Could be a situation like that, like, you know, whatever. But this year that was at a minimum. And before anyone comes and tells me I'm not doing my blonde curls right, I'm not a hairstylist. I already said that. I just do what I know how to do, and it ends up looking good. So mind your business. But back to my breakdown of BET Hip Hop Awards. I'm not sure if this is something that they used to do in the past, but I don't remember them ever having battle rap at the BET Hip Hop Awards. And I actually enjoyed that because of the simple fact that, you know, a lot of times the BET Hip Hop Awards feels like the regular BET Awards because they don't really be having those extra elements of like hip hop or rap other than like the Sprite ciphers. But like a lot of times they break those down to like this small like amount of time. So it's like, you know, it kind of feels like the same hip hop award or BET Awards instead of the Hip Hop Awards. So I like that they did that. It was 3 rounds. So the first round, it was 2 guys. And then the second round was another 2 guys. And whichever one was the winner from round 1 and round 2 obviously battled at round 3. And then the winner won $25,000, I believe. So that's cool. And it really like added that real hip hop cipher, and it made the audience, and when I say audience, I don't just mean like us watching at home, the audience that was like actually there. It made them a little bit more involved because like a lot of the celebs and stuff say that the award shows are mad boring, and that's why when the camera pans to them and they're sitting there looking stupid because they've been there for hours upon hours and they're bored or drunk. So yeah, that added a little factor that helped them like be engaged with, you know, like the actual show. And they did have 2 ciphers, I believe. And for those of you who don't know what a cipher is, well, it could be a couple things, but in this situation it's basically like a bunch of rappers, you know, getting together, freestyling, or, you know, stating their raps, their rap lyrics, whatever. Not battling, but like, yeah, whatever. If you don't know what it is, then Google it, because whatever. But the first one had Cash Doll, King Los, Amon Shumpert, and some kid named Travis Thompson. Mind you, I literally have never heard of this kid, and like his appearance does not fit his product. Okay, like when he started rapping, I was like, oh, excuse me, Mr. Travis, like my bad, I judged, because I really thought you was gonna be low-key whack, and I was about to be like, why they put him in a category with these people? Because like, I don't know if y'all know, but King Los is like, he's from Baltimore, and he's like one of those like super duper rappers, like, you know, like not necessarily battle rappers, but like his pen game is crazy. Like he's written for a Diddy and a bunch of others that, you know, whatever. But yeah, like he's mad talented. Like he's good. Go look him up. And Amon Shumpert, yes, he's a basketball player and Tiana Taylor's husband, but he got bars. Like he's real good. Like I've listened to a couple of his songs before and stuff, and they're pretty good. And Cash Doll, you know, all the girls, we love Cash Doll. So seeing the Travis Thompson kid in there, I was like, who this? What he doing? But it was good. He held his own. He stood 10 toes down to the ground or whatever. Well, that one was hot. Hot, 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 hot. And the second cipher, well, the one that I remember, because if there was a third one, I'm sorry, I don't remember. But it was a comedy cipher, and I thought that was pretty cool because I don't remember them ever doing that before. But of course, Little Duval was the host, so that added another like cool element, and it was like the best of both worlds because he's a comedian, actor, etc., etc., and he's also a, I don't know if you count him as a rapper or singer, he's an artist. So that cipher had Just Hilarious, Chico Bean, Carlos Miller, and Afion Crockett. Y'all remember him? He's the guy, of course you remember him. He used to be on Wild 'N Out, like one of the OG Wild 'N Out guys. But he is the guy who always does like the Jay-Z impersonations and all that stuff. And that segment was real good. Like it was funny to see, like, you know, Just Hilarious out of her element. Like, I don't know if you've seen episodes of her on Wild 'N Out, but like she was never one of the people who like really did like the wild style battles, like, you know, like at the end, that thing that they be doing. I don't remember her ever being like, oh, let me step up and battle this person in a comedic battle rap. So it was cool to see her spit her little verse, and she was telling jokes about her like a married man because she dated Country Wayne, and you know, all these different things. Her being bald head, you know, it was funny. Oh yeah, so the ciphers and the battle rap segments really made it feel like a hip hop award show opposed to just a regular BET award show. So I like that. And I don't know if Little Duval had a lot of input when it came to production and all that stuff, but if so, he did really good. Like I said before, the host of the award show really does make a difference. Like, I don't care what anybody says, it makes a difference. But moving on to performances, I really should have like wrote some notes down to be more organized. But this is such like a, you know, chill little video. I do know that Meg the Stallion was the opener of the show, and of course she brought out the baby. The theme of that performance was the boat. She was the captain of the boat because that's what she is. And that was cute. She had a little sailor costume on and whatever. But I really, you know, it's just so crazy to see Megan and the baby like prosper, because it's like, oh, I remember when I seen you, a clip of you on my explore page on Instagram or YouTube or whatever the case may be. So it's so cool. And you know, like a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but I've seen online people comparing them to like, you know, this generation's Nicki Minaj and Drake, because like they both, their careers are kind of like skyrocketing at the same time, I guess you would say. And like they're mad cool, like they work together, like, you know. So I don't really know if it's an accurate comparison, but I see them both going really big places. SAWEETIE, she performed. Why say SAWEETIE like that? Like, what's big, SAWEETIE? My Chanel purse. Anyway, if you don't get it, then whatever. But she did My Type, and she brought out PD Pablo, and she brought out Lil Jon, and it was lit. Like, her set didn't really have a theme, but she did some choreo, and she looked good. Like, I was like, does she do choreo at her shows? I've never seen her live, but she showed a lot of personality and energy on the stage, and I like that. Like, it was good. I thought she did a good job. Why are these curls falling already? Well, it's not that bad. After SAWEETIE, I think the next performer was DaBaby, and he started off with doing the intro. If you ever heard his album, obviously the intro is a song. It is the first song on his album, hence the name intro. But I think it's also a play on words because it's like introducing his fan base or like people who are newcomers to him and like his life story. Like, he talks about his dad passing away and his song going #1 the same day. He talks about like, you know, moving out of Charlotte and like raising his daughter and like, you know, a whole bunch of other stuff that comes with his newfound success. And that was really cute. Like, they kept panning the camera to his mom and looking at her, seeing like how proud she was of him. But that was cute, of course. And the background dancers had on like these church choir robes because the song is very like, you know, whatever. But of course, after he did a couple, you know, verses or whatever from that song, he brought out Offset, my favorite Migo. Dang, this one's real curly. He brought out Offset, my favorite Migo, and they performed Babysitter. And Offset is not my favorite Migo because I love Cardi. He just always has been. Like, I don't know, like I like his swag, the way he performs, like he dances. I don't know, I feel like he's like the least boring, but he's not the most open. Like, I would say Quavo is like the one that's like open in your face, like da da da. But, and then Takeoff is like, no one knows anything about this man. He's a mystery. And I don't know if people even care to know, but whatever. And also it's kind of like in the middle, but I don't know. But he's just my favorite Migo. He always has been. I think the performance after that was Rick Ross. No offense to him, but I didn't really care about that performance, to be honest. Not because I don't like Rick Ross, because I do, but it was just very underwhelming, I guess I would say. Yeah, he just was walking around the stage saying his raps with his sunglasses on. Yo, Rick Ross, all I could really think about when I was watching him perform was like how skinny and small his legs are. But whatever. And that's no shade or nothing. It's just speaking about what I saw. Now, every award and like category wasn't like shown on TV or at the show or whatever, but the ones that were, we can get into that. The next category was Best Collab Group or Duo. And freaking Little Nas X and Billy Ray Cyrus won, which really kind of blew me because I'm sick of Old Town Road. And nothing against either one of those artists. Little Nas X grew on me, but I'm sick of hearing that song. Like, go away, Old Town Road. Best New Mixtape went to Meg, our girl Meg the Stallion, aka Tina Snow. Hot girl Meg. And when she accepted her award, like, I think she was surprised that she won Best Mixtape, which was like, I mean, I don't know, like, her mixtape was good. Like, I don't know what there to say, but I guess because of everyone else who was in her category, she was kind of like flabbergasted a little bit. But I'm happy for her. Freaking Spice, she's a dancehall artist. If you don't know who she is, she's pretty good. Her music's dope. But you might know her from Love and Hip Hop. She was in the audience sitting there rolling her eyes and yawning. I personally don't think that she was sitting there rolling her eyes and yawning at the simple fact that Meg won. I don't think that at all. But that's what y'all people on Beyonce's internet was saying. So I'm just repeating what was said, but I don't think that's why she was making that face, to be honest. Now, back to our girl, Little Kim, the Queen Bee. She won the I Am Hip Hop Award, which is crazy because she was talking about how she's never won a BET Award ever, like ever. So when she, went up there and grabbed her award, I think Rick Ross presented her with the award. When she grabbed it or whatever, she was like, oh, this is what one of these feel like. And like, everybody was like applauding and stuff. And at first I was just like, why'd she say that? Like, what that mean? And come to find out, she told us what that meant. Like, she never won a BET award ever. And she was just saying how, like, for a lot of years, it bothered her, hurt her feelings and all this, all that. And like she would complain to like her godmother, manager, or whoever she would complain to and say things like, yo, like, why they not giving me an award? Why they not doing this? Why they not doing that? Like, I love BET. I'm always supporting BET and this, that, and the third and whatever. And honestly, I agree with her. Like, I am so confused as to how she never got a BET award. Like, that is nuts to me. Like, that is really nuts. But her speech, it started off a little crazy. Like, she was just basically telling her little story about how she never got the BET award, like I said, and how it made her feel, and how the person, her godmother, whoever, was telling her like, oh, well, that BET award is mediocre and you're not mediocre. Or no, she said that BET award is regular and you're not regular. And blah, 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 blah. And at first, I'm sitting there clutching my pearls like, you're getting the I Am Hip Hop Award and you're telling the audience and the viewers how the BET Awards is mediocre. Like, sis, I understand you're upset that this is your first one, but that's not appropriate. Like, you can't do that. That is just rude. But she ties it all together and she says basically how, and I'm paraphrasing, you know, whatever. If you're interested enough, then you can go look it up. But she basically says how, you know, the I Am Hip Hop Award was great for her to be her first BET award because she's such a trendsetter for female hip hop and all that, and just, you know, rap in general, but especially for us women. And it was good. Like, she tied it all together, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, you saved it, because I was a little shook. It's like I was scared. Really enjoyed that. Oh my god, I forgot to talk about Rhapsody. She performed too. Her performance, I really did like. I don't know how I forgot to mention that before, but she pretty much shouted out like all the girls in hip hop, and she took a little jab at Jermaine Dupri for saying what he said about stripper rap and all that stuff, and her freestyle. I don't know if it was a freestyle or a song, but when she performed, she talked about it, and she shouted out Meg, Nicki, Cardi, Kim, Queen Latifah, like everybody pretty much. She shouted out Tierra Whack. Really important, because when all that stuff was going down with Jermaine Dupri and him saying what he said about, you know, female artists these days, which is really invalid and stupid, because at the end of the day, we've always had a variety of female artists other than like the Nicki era. And what I mean by that is, like, in the 90s and stuff, in early 2000s, there were always a variety of girls out. Like, there was Little Kim's, but there was also Missy Elliott's, and then there was also Queen Latifah's, and then there was also like Charlie Baltimore's, and like, you know, I can go on and on. Eve, like, I can go on and on for days about the different women in hip hop during that era. It really was only the Nicki Minaj era. Not saying the Nicki Minaj era is over, but you know, it was not until, like, you know, the late 2000s when female rap was just not really a thing, I guess you would say. Like, there was only Nicki, and sis held it down for us. She sure did. But with all that being said, there have always been the girls who did a little bit more conscious rap, like, you know, like a MC Lyte or Queen Latifah. But we also had Little Kim, who was rapping hardcore raps, talking about popping and shaking, you know, like, and scamming guys and getting to the bag, but they just weren't using that terminology. You know what I'm saying? Because that wasn't the lingo back then. So obviously they used other words to say the same thing that a lot of girls like Megan, Cardi, City Girls, Sweetie, freaking Cash Doll, like, you know, they're saying the similar things. Like, the ideas of what is being talked about are no different than what was being talked about way back when. So, yeah, I think Jermaine Dupri, as much as I respect him and I enjoy his content and his, what's it called, discography? That's what you call a music catalog, whatever. As much as I enjoy that, he was really idiotic to say those things. So it is what it is. Could have just been clickbait, whatever. But he said it, and it was stupid. Y'all, this video is gonna be long. Well, obviously, if you sat all the way through this, you know it's going to be long, because I don't know how many minutes we're in at this point, and I have a big head, so it takes me a long time to curl this wig, frontal, whatever you want to call it. And I talk a lot. Like, once I get started on something that I'm interested in or passionate, I just be going. And the simple fact that I'm sitting here talking to myself and I'm this entertained might be a little crazy. Like, I don't know if anybody normally feels this comfortable talking to a camera in a room with lights on and the door closed, but I do, and I don't care. So I am pretty much done. Thank you for sticking with me as I rant about the BET Hip Hop Awards. Hopefully it was entertaining enough for your viewing pleasures. But as always, thank you for tuning in and chatting with me while listening to me chat, whatever. make sure you leave me a comment and let me know what you thought about the BET Hip Hop Awards. And if you didn't see it, you can leave me a comment and let me know what you thought about this video overall. Do you like, you know, a little talk through me ranting, talking about whatever? If I got things to talk about, I could talk all day. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe, turn that notification bell on, and you already know, share this video with your mama, your daddy, your granddaddy, your grandmother, your cousins, brothers, sisters, play sisters, god sisters, god brothers. My dog is literally sitting here licking himself and it's distracting me. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. See you guys next week.